They owned his body, but never reached his soul. Epictetus entered life beneath a law that treated his body as property. Before he could choose his road, another man already claimed his labor. Rome saw a slave, a tool, a body useful only through obedience. But history remembers the man whose chains could not imprison the place he ruled. He lived inside a powerful Roman household where marble floors heard quiet suffering daily. Commands echoed through corridors before kindness ever had time to arrive. His days were shaped by footsteps, oil lamps, waiting hands, and silent endurance. Yet the hardest school often reveals truths comfort would have hidden from the soul. Epictetus learned the line most people never learn before life breaks them. Some things belong to us, and some things only pass near us. Our judgment, desire, refusal, intention, and response remain within our command. Everything else is weather outside the soul, loud enough to threaten, powerless to rule. Lesson 1 is to stop handing your peace to things outside your control. A person becomes weak when every delay, insult, silence, and disappointment owns him. The world does not need chains when your reactions already obey everything. Epictetus teaches that freedom begins where emotional surrender finally ends. Most people today are not owned by masters, but by unstable moments. One message changes their mood, one opinion wounds them, one rejection defines them. They call it stress, anxiety, pressure, or personality, but often it is slavery. A soul that can be moved by everything is not yet free. Lesson 2 is that insult only wounds deeply when judgment agrees with it. Words may strike the ear, but meaning is forged inside the mind. The crowd may laugh, accuse, ignore, or misunderstand the silent person walking forward. But no voice becomes your master unless you invite it onto the throne. Epictetus did not deny pain because only fools decorate suffering with pretty words. Injustice was real, humiliation was real, and the body could truly be harmed. But he separated what happened to him from what it was allowed to mean. Pain may enter the body by force, but shame enters only through agreement. Lesson 3 is to want less from people who were never your source. The one who needs applause becomes obedient to every changing face. The one who needs comfort becomes fragile whenever life grows cold. The one who needs approval will betray truth just to stay accepted. After slavery, Epictetus became a teacher, but he did not comfort weak illusions. He trained students like soldiers of judgment, not dreamers begging life to become gentle. His school carried hard wisdom, plain speech, discipline, poverty, and courage. He taught that philosophy means nothing until it survives hunger, insult, and loss. Lesson 4 is that expectation can become a hidden tyrant inside the soul. Many suffer because they demand a world that never promised to obey them. They expect people to be fair, fortune to be kind, and time to wait. Then they call life cruel because reality refused to serve their imagination. Lesson 5 is that status does not prove a person has freedom. A rich man can tremble inside a palace built from public admiration. A praised man can live terrified of losing the crowd's warm approval. A slave can stand inwardly higher than kings who cannot govern themselves. This is why Epictetus still speaks to people trapped without visible chains. Some are chained to comparison, some to old shame, some to unread messages. Some cannot breathe because one delay, one failure, or one silence controls them. They do not need more noise, but a soul that returns to command. Lesson 6 is to practice freedom before the great test arrives. No man becomes steady only after life begins shaking everything he loves. He trains through small irritations, small losses, small insults, and small refusals. Every ordinary disturbance is a hidden gem where the soul learns not to collapse. Lesson 7 is that acceptance is not weakness when it protects inner strength. Acceptance does not excuse cruelty, worship fate, or silence a righteous conscience. It sees clearly what has happened, then chooses the noblest response still possible. The freeman does not fight reality's existence before acting with courage. Epictetus was not remembered because life finally became gentle to his body. He was remembered because hardship failed to become ruler of his inner world. Rome gave him chains, pain, commands, and a name beneath another man. Wisdom gave him something Rome could neither purchase, punish, sell, nor own. The slave who became free inside exposes the lie modern people worship. They think peace will come when people change, success arrives, and pain leaves. But Epictetus teaches that peace begins when judgment stops kneeling before events. The strongest chain is not iron, but the desire that owns your response. The silent path begins when a person stops begging life to obey his emotions. Epictetus teaches that freedom is not permission, comfort, status, wealth, or applause. Freedom begins when judgment returns home and refuses to serve every passing event. Own what belongs to you, and the world cannot own what remains within. They could command his body for a season, but his soul walked out untouched.